Now get a sheet of notebook paper or printer paper. Now, answer these questions from 1 to how many questions there are. Start with question number 1. Did God tell Elijah to train Elijah as his next prophet? Question number 2. Did Elijah obey God? Question 3. Did Elijah spend time teaching and training Elijah to be a prophet? Question 4. What was it time for Elijah to do? Where did Elijah go before he went to heaven? Did Elijah encourage the young prophets? Did Elijah know what was going on, what was going to happen to Elijah? Did Elijah leave Elijah's side? Where did Elijah and Elisha go after visiting all the young prophets? What did Elijah do at the river? Who walked across the Jordan River on dry land? What did Elijah ask Elijah? What did Elijah want from Elijah? Who would decide whether or not Elijah got Elijah's power and wisdom to do God's work? How would Elijah know if he would get what he wanted? What came between Elijah and Elisha? What happened to Elijah? Who saw what happened to Elijah? How did Elijah feel about Elijah going up to heaven? What happened when Elijah picked up Elijah's coat? Who got Elijah's power and wisdom? Who would carry on Elijah's work as God's prophet? Now I'm going to answer them as we go along, so you know if you got the question right or wrong. And I'm going to use the story as the guide to all the answers. First question, remember it said, did God tell Elijah to train Elisha as his next prophet? The answer to that question is yes. Next question. Did Elijah obey God? Yes, he did. Did Elijah spend time teaching and training Elijah to be a prophet? The answer to that question is yes, he did. Yes, he did. What was it time for Elijah to do? The answer to that is to go up to heaven. Where did Elijah go before he went to heaven? Well, the answer to that right there is to visit the young prophets. Did Elijah encourage the young prophets? The answer to that is yes. He did. Did Elisha know what was going to happen to Elijah? Yes, he did, is the answer. Did Elijah leave Elijah's side? No, he did not. He stayed by his side. Where did Elijah and Elisha go after visiting all the young prophets? The Jordan River is your answer. What did Elijah do at the river? The answer to that is he moved the water from left and right. And the answer to the previous question, which was, where did Elijah and Elisha go after visiting all the young prophets? The Jordan River. The next says, what did Elijah do at the Jordan River? Well, he moved the water from left and right. Who walked across the Jordan River on dry land? Both men is the answer. What did Elijah ask Elijah? Well, if you looked, he said this. What can I do for you before I go? What did Elijah want? What did Elijah want from Elijah? The answer is his power and wisdom. Is the answer to that question. Next question said, who would decide whether or not Elisha got Elijah's power and wisdom to do God's work? The answer to that, God would decide. How would Elijah know if he would get what he wanted? The answer to that, is by seeing Elijah go up to heaven. Next question said, what came between Elijah and Elisha? To answer that, chariots and fire. What happened to Elijah? The answer to that, answer to that question, what happened to Elijah? He went up to heaven by a whirlwind. Is the answer to that question. What happened to Elijah? Who saw what happened to Elijah? The answer to that is Elisha. The question, who saw what happened to Elijah? How did Elijah feel about Elijah's going to heaven? Sad, and depressed. What happened when Elijah picked up Elijah's coat? That's the answer to that. Question, what happened when Elijah picked up Elijah's coat? He received God's will. And last, 2. Who got Elijah's power and wisdom? Elijah. That's the answer to that. And last question. What would carry on Elijah's work as God's prophet? Elijah is the answer.